Hey guys, it's a 3 Creeper here, and we're back for another SpongeBob tier list. Except this time, we're not doing Season 1. We're doing Season 2. And, arguably, I could say it might be better. But only these rankings will tell. Now, we're starting off with a banger here, and we got Artist Unknown. That's the one with Bold and Brash, and Squidward was trying to make a good art piece, and just kept failing that. At the end, he made a masterpiece, and just walked away. This is going to go into amazing. I love this episode. It's great. It's one of the best, but it's not up there. Putting it in amazing. Next up, we have Band Geeks. That's easily best. That's the one where Squidward, he gets everyone to be in his band, and they're not playing it at all. And at the end, just to impress Squilliam. And then when they actually go to the Super Bowl to play, the Water Bowl, as they call it, they play really good just for Squidward. I find that to be an amazing episode. So, that goes in best. Big Pink Loser. That's the one where Patrick didn't have any trophies, and he wanted to get one, so he started copying SpongeBob. This is a good one. I want to put it in great. It's very iconic. We'll put it at great for now, but if I feel like moving, I will. Bossy Boots. This is one where Pearl takes over the Krusty Krab. Now, I like this episode, but it's nothing special. And notice how there's no bad tier anymore. I realized that these early seasons, it's not going to be any bad episodes. So I'm putting it solid. It's probably the lowest it can be. And then next we have a banger. We got Bubble Buddy. This is going into amazing, but not better than Artist Unknown. It's just it's like one of those perfect episodes, but there are better ones. But it's amazing. I'm sure the name kind of will tell you what the episode's about. SpongeBob with Bubble Buddy. Next we have Christmas Who. That's the Christmas special with Squidward, who didn't believe that Santa was coming to Bikini Bottom, and there was the song about Christmas, and then afterwards Squidward started giving away everything in his house to make up for how he made SpongeBob feel. So this is going to amazing right there. Next we have Dumped. This is the one where SpongeBob was upset because Gary started hanging out with Patrick more than him, and SpongeBob was a little upset about that. And I'm gonna put that right here. That's a good episode. Next up we got Dying for Pie, S tier. I think it goes above Band Geeks. This is like a perfect episode. It showcases how good of a friend Squidward can actually be to SpongeBob, despite how much he's annoyed by him. Squidward thinks SpongeBob eats a pie that's a bomb, so he hangs out the whole day with him because he thinks he's going to die. But turns out he didn't eat it, and he was saving it for later to eat with Squidward. Then he tripped and fell, and it blew up Squidward. Next, Frank and Doodle. There's the one with Doodle Bob. This one is going into amazing. It's iconic. I think it's better than Bubble Buddy. It's close, but it goes there. Gary Takes a Bath. Now this one's a good one. I don't know if it's going to go anything higher than this, but it's going to go sitting there at good. Grandma's Kisses. This is an amazing episode. This is one where SpongeBob is embarrassed because his grandma kept kissing him in front of the guys at the Krusty Krab. It's going above Bubble Buddy, probably above that, but it's going to stop right there. Graveyard Shift. Love this episode. Season 2, I think, is one of the best seasons ever, because notice how most things are up here. This is going to go into the top with great. This is the one where SpongeBob and Squidward had to work a night shift, and the hash slinging slasher was there. Next, I'm with Stupid. I actually forgot what that one was. Okay, actually, this one is an amazing episode. This is the one where Patrick finds out his parents are showing up, and he's afraid that they're gonna think he's stupid, so SpongeBob decides to act dumb so Patrick would look smarter in front of his parents, but then Patrick started to think he actually was dumb. Then it turns out those weren't even his real parents, because his real parents were waiting outside. This is a great episode. It's gonna go right under Grandma's Kisses. I'm Your Biggest Fanatic. Ooh, this is a good one. It's not up there. I'm gonna put it at the top of good. There's the one with Kevin the sea sea cucumber, who was the jellyfisher. SpongeBob was a big fan of him. Imitation crabs. This is the one where Plankton got into the metal suit of like a robot crabs and tried to get the formula that way. It's a very good episode, very unique. I think it's gonna get it above Bubble Buddy, Frankendoodle. I don't think it goes above that though, so it's gonna sit right there. Jellyfish Hunter. I love this episode, but it's gonna have to sit like probably there. It's one where Mr. Krabs realizes that the customers love the jellyfish jelly, so yeah, SpongeBob to get jellyfish from him. Krusty Love. This is also an amazing episode. It's the one where Mr. Krabs wants to go on a date with like Mrs. Puff, and he starts buying her a bunch of stuff. He asks SpongeBob to buy things, and he keeps getting mad. This episode is going into amazing. It's gonna go right there. That's a solid place for it. Life of Crime. That's the one where Mr. Krabs tells SpongeBob and Patrick that it's not stealing if they give something back. So they steal a balloon and then it pops, and they're afraid they're gonna get to jail. This one's going to top of good. I love this episode. Then Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3, going at the top of amazing. That's the one with Man Ray when they unfreeze him. And oh, this is such a good episode. It's almost perfect. It's the one with the I believe you've dropped your wallet scene. Sure you guys know what that is. No free rides. This is the one where Mrs. Puff wants SpongeBob gone, so she makes up an assignment that will get SpongeBob his license, and he gets it, and then she tries to steal the boat, and then all that. And this reveals a lot about her criminal past. There's no secret about that. This is going to bottom of great. I really like this episode. Patty Hype, or Pretty Patties, which is what this episode is. It's gonna go at the top of great. Pre-hibernation week. This one is a good one. I'll put it like there. It's the one where SpongeBob is like doing all the stuff, the extreme like hobbies with Sandy before she goes into hibernation, and he tries to like get away at the end. It's going into good. Pressure. I love this episode. I almost want to put it in best, but I'll put it at the top of amazing. It is the one where SpongeBob and like all the other sea creatures get into a debate with Sandy whether or not land creatures or sea creatures are better. And it's a great episode. Procrastination. This episode is good. There's not a lot to it, but it's very simple and relaxing to watch, and it's very relatable. So it's gonna go into great. The bottom. Is it better than No Free Rides? Maybe. Is it better than Dog? Probably, but I think it stops there. Sailor Mouth. This is an amazing episode. I think it's better than Bubble Buddy. Better than Frankendoodle. Better than no, it's not better than Imitation Crabs. It sits right there. It's the one where they start saying like the bad word from SpongeBob Underwater Universe. Sandy, SpongeBob, and the Worm. This episode is great, and Patrick was very funny in this episode. Why don't we take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else? So I'm gonna have to put that in amazing. It's gonna go right under Bubble Buddy. Shanghai. I think that's how you pronounce it. Shanghai. I don't know. The one where they first go on to the Flying Dutchman's ship, and Squidward has like the infinite falling glitch. Is that how to call it? Okay, well, my recording stopped because it was over 10 minutes, and hate Bandicam for that. Next, we have Something Smells. It's the one where SpongeBob eats, like, a bunch of disgusting food, and he smells really bad, but he thinks he's ugly because no one wants to talk to him, or some people even, I think, died. And Patrick told the story of the ugly barnacle. It's a good episode. But to put it at great, right about there. Also, I'm going to move that right there because I think Great for Third Shift was a little better than Pretty Patties. Squid's Day Off. This is the one where he goes to take his errands because he was in charge and he left SpongeBob in charge. And then he was worried something was going to happen, so he kept running back. I'm going to put this good. At the top of good. Next, we have Squid on Strike. This is the one where SpongeBob and Squidward go on strike. And it's an amazing episode. I'm going to put this episode the top of great. Next we have Squidville, the one where Squidward goes to that town of a bunch of squid people. I think this one is great, but I think it'll go it'll sit right there. I think that's a solid place for it. Squirrel Jokes. This is a good episode. I feel like it's a little underrated. It's the one where SpongeBob's telling squirrel jokes and Sandy doesn't like it because she's a squirrel. And this one's gonna go into I'll put it right there. I feel like that's a solid place for it. Survival of the Idiots. This is a classic. This is the one where Sandy was hibernating and her tree dome was covered in snow. And SpongeBob and Patrick were arguing over who was Dirty Dan. And I think this episode's really good, and I think I'm gonna have to put it into a solid it's gonna have to go into a solid put it in amazing. It's just such a classic. The Fry Cook Games. This is a very good episode. I'll put it at the top of great. I think you guys know what that one is. It's the Fry Cook Games. The Secret Box is another iconic one. I'm gonna have to put it in amazing. I'll put it right above Krusty Love. It's a good one. The one where Patrick had the secret box and SpongeBob was just dying to see what was inside. Next, the Smoking Peanut. Oh, was this such a good episode. The one where SpongeBob threw a peanut at the oyster. And everyone hated him for it because it upset the clam. The oyster, whatever it was. And this is such a good episode. I think it's gonna have to hold on. It's gonna sit at the top of amazing. It's almost in best. I don't think it is quite. Welcome to the Chum Bucket. This episode is almost completely perfect. I think it's gonna go into best. It's not better than these two, but it's the one where Mr. Krabs loses a bet to Plankton and he has to give away his best fry cook, which is SpongeBob. And they sing probably the best song in all of SpongeBob, in my opinion, one of the best. A stove is a stove, and eventually this SpongeBob just doesn't want to do anything. Plankton puts his brain in a robot, still doesn't do anything, so he gives him back. Wormy, very iconic episode. The one where SpongeBob and Patrick are visiting Sandy's tree dome, and she has a pet worm that they think killed, and then eventually they come back, and then there's a butterfly that they think killed Wormy, and they think it's like a monster. It's a great episode. It's gonna go right there into amazing. And then Your Shoes Untied. This is an amazing episode as well. It's the one where SpongeBob forgets how to tie his shoes and he's asking everyone. Nobody knows. So it's gonna have to go into amazing. Alright, that's gonna have to wrap it up for this video. and I'm sure you can tell this is a very highly ranked list because season 2 is arguably one of the best, if not the best, and I just think it's amazing. All these episodes are great. A few of them aren't as good as others, but some of them definitely have their place. And that's gonna have to wrap it up. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll make season 3 another day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.